Are you happy? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Like really sat down and asked if you are truly happy? I remember maybe like 10 years ago, I had a partner who, when he met my grandmother, that was the first question he asked. And she will never forget that because she has never been asked that question in all of her life. She still talks about that question. I think it just shook her to her core because she didn't even know how to answer. You know, sometimes I think we're afraid to ask others, or we're even afraid to ask ourselves because we don't want to know the answer. And first, before we can make any life changes, we need to first know, where are we at this moment? You know, how do we rate our relationships at this moment, our career, our spirituality, our finances? All of that has an impact. So I'm curious, and I encourage you to first ask yourself, are you happy? Our society, I feel, is very backwards. We like to, we value, GDPs instead of the happiness factor. In some countries like Bhutan, which is like one of the happiest countries in the world. And what if our governments, our societies started to value, are people fulfilled in their countries? Are they happy? We don't have to wait for any external outside forces to encourage that. We can start that today. I just finished reading this amazing book. This 3-part series. I can put it actually in the comments below if you want. And I want to quote Barbara Marx Hubbard, and she's really this known visionary. And she asks, who is happy? In her experience, the happy ones are actualizing their creative gifts for the service to others, end quotes. And she also says, if you have everything that modern day civilization has to offer, and you are anywhere where that capacity for individual expression exists in its full service, but you do not also have deeper yearning to express uniqueness for the good of others, then you will be a natural depressive. You will have a natural depression and a sense of malaise. And that malaise is a signal that something more wants to be expressed. She often talks about how we get attached to our roles, maybe stay-at-home mom or father or, busy business executive or sister, daughter. We get kind of trapped into these roles and we don't know how to get out of them and express our true uniqueness and maybe the gifts that we are really meant to share. We're all drawn to different things. I like music. I wish I could be a musician. I wish I could play the instrument, but I'm just not as gifted as someone else who just can, create this beautiful music so naturally. And that's okay. I may have other gifts and I may be drawn to other things. So it's really about being clear on our unique gifts and to let that creative expression really flourish. If we all lived authentically and honored that we are more than just these qualities that we've kind of put ourselves in this box, how much we can serve others. I have, sometimes what I realize is something that is so natural, that's just so easy for you, that you just don't even think is a gift, can touch and help someone so profoundly. I remember, I love to go to these weekly chanting group gatherings, and the artists are so magical to me. And I remember saying, you need to create, at that time it was like make a CD, which is a little bit old now, but it was like, record this because people need to hear this. And for them, they just did it, as a meditation at home for themselves and in their weekly, gatherings that were just by donation. And I wanted them to be able to share these gifts to the world. But it's so easy and natural for them. And I think those are the times when we go, like, what would I do completely for free? And what would I just never ask money for? But then to actually create life work around that. There's nothing wrong. Money is just energy, just a transaction of energy. And if you are able to do something just for free, but then you ask for money as a way of reciprocating that gratitude that someone has for what you offer, you're able to live in this creative flow for the rest of your life, and you never actually have to work, as they say. The world needs your creative expression, and the world needs more people in tune with their creative expression and in tune with their own gifts. So again, I encourage you to sit and really take a moment to ask yourself, or even have do it almost an activity with friends. Ask your friends or if they're happy, and have them ask you in return, and see if things bubble up. And maybe where there is some, blocked energy or lower energy or heavy energy. And then also ask yourself, how can I let that go and release that? Or, the more we ask ourselves questions or other questions, the more things can unravel. That's what a coach does. A coach doesn't do things for you. A coach is there to find the things that will make you, get to the next level. And whatever goal you have, the coach is not there to, judge any of your goals. They're just there to help you find them, to discover them, to help you to be accountable, to make these small steps. Because often we don't stop and really ask ourselves the important questions that coaches are trained to ask. So I encourage you to write in the comment box, how would you rate your happiness? Rate it however you want, or just simple yes or no. Are you happy or not? And what would make you happy? This is a place where we can support one another and encourage one another and share share our gifts with one another to help to be heard and seen. I also encourage you to share and like and subscribe to this channel if you want to hear more kind of questions or weekly games or little tasks to do to help you be more clear and bring more clarity into your life. So thanks again, and see you next time.